Welcome back to my channel, Smoking and Grilling, and today we cooking with me, AB. Now you guys read the title, so you know what I'm making, and you probably already seen some of the past smothered, pork chops, right? But this time I'm getting ready to do some mushroom and bacon, or you can call them bacon and mushroom smothered pork chops. These are like easy. I'm gonna just call this like a one-pan meal. You wanna talk about just something that you can just put together, put it over a bed of rice, or serve it along with some rice and some veggies, and listen, you got a complete meal. So with that being said, I'm not gonna over talk it, and we're finna get right into these ingredients, and I'm gonna show you just how to make it. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is another recipe that doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients, right? All these ingredients are like basic. So I'll just start off by showing you guys the pork chops. I had these custom cut. These are boneless. You can see them. This one is not quite as thick, but this was like the one that was on the end. But this one right here, that's 2 inches. I like my pork chops thick. You guys can use whatever size, thickness pork chops that you would like. Okay, I'm gonna start off. Let me just show you this right here. This is my thick cut, my thick cut bacon. Listen, we're gonna use about 6 slices of these. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with those. Right here, these were sliced mushrooms. Now, I bought these like in the pack already sliced. This was about 8 ounces. Right here, look, we're gonna thicken up that sauce, right? Which is really like a gravy. So I got 2 tablespoons of, this is 2 tablespoons of flour. We got salt. Let me just open this up so you guys can see it. This right here is kosher salt. That's like my favorite go-to. Then right here, I got smoked ground pepper, but any fresh ground pepper, you're gonna use these 2, to taste. I'm gonna use about a half a cup of this heavy whipping cream. And this right here is 2/3 chicken broth, 2/3 of a cup. Now, I'm gonna be using, look, this is living thyme. Just nothing but fresh thyme. I'm gonna be using this. I like this. We just gonna strip down the leaves, and then we're gonna sprinkle it on. It's gonna serve as a garnish. And listen, by it being fresh, it's gonna be real fragrant and nice and flavorful. Now, you see it all right here, super easy. And one thing you don't see, and I'm gonna be doing it in my cast iron skillet. So it's like really, this is a one pan meal. So we're gonna go from there, and then we finna make this happen. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is, I told you guys 6, this happened to be 7. You know what I mean? I just like miscounted, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut them like this. Just cut yourself some strips, however big you want them to be, because you saw the title, right? Okay, now you see, we got the bacon cut up, right? And one thing I forgot to show you guys, listen, I got a tablespoon, let me just put it right here so it'll focus. I got a tablespoon of minced garlic. We're gonna add that also. So what we wanna do is we're gonna bring our cast iron skillet up to temp. I'm gonna start off on medium-high heat. Once this comes up to temp, then I'm gonna go ahead and put my bacon in here, and we're gonna start rendering that down. Got my cast iron skillet, it's up to temp. Now it's time to go ahead to start adding our bacon. We're gonna let this go ahead and work itself down, render itself down, so we can use, that way we can use the fat from there. No need to add nothing, but if you would like to, you can. Sometimes I add bacon, I add butter. You can use extra virgin olive oil, whatever you guys wanna use. But for me, this right here is a thick cut, and it'll just render down some nice, bacon fat. Okay, so now you can see how the bacon rendered down. This is the color I'm looking for, right? Even if it gets a little bit crispy, listen, we're gonna put it in our sauce/gravy. Listen, so it's gonna soften right up. So go ahead, get yourself some tongs, and get yourself like a bowl or something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put mine in this. And we'll just go ahead and take them out. You wanna leave as much of the bacon fat in the pan as possible. So just give it a shake. So I did them like this. Look, just put a little paper in my bowl so that it'll pick up any of the excess, bacon fat. We'll set this to the side. Now we get ready, we're gonna season our pork chops, and then we're gonna put these right in here on a medium heat. Okay, now we're gonna start off, listen, don't underestimate the power of just salt and pepper, you guys. Hey, just a little bit here, like this. This is all we're gonna need, right? And then we're gonna hit it with a little fresh ground, pepper. Then we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna do the same thing. And then we're gonna put it in the pan. Don't forget, you wanna keep your pan going. You know, you wanna keep it under like a medium heat. Cause listen, we're gonna put a nice little sear. We're gonna cook them on for 4 minutes on each side. And then we're gonna go to the next step. Our finished season, salt and pepper on both sides. You can see a little smoke coming up off of this, you know, the bacon grease. So now we're gonna go ahead and just set these in here for 4 minutes on each side. Alexa, set a timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, starting now.
Okay, it's been 4 minutes, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip them over. And you can see we're starting to put that color on each side. Okay, now we completed the other 4 minutes. You can see this is a little bit more because I pushed them more towards the center. So it's got a little bit more color, right? So we'll put these up like this to the side, and now let's go ahead and get that gravy slash sauce together. Okay, so reduce my heat down to a medium high, right? Excuse me, to a medium, which is about 275 degrees. So we got that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead, add my mushrooms, right? I'm gonna start using my whisk. You know, so what we want to do is we want to make sure these are all coated, and we're gonna cook these down a little bit. Just a little bit. We're gonna give this like about a 2-minute head start. Okay, it's been 1 minute, right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my minced garlic. We only gonna cook these for 1 minute though. You know? So we just want to keep it moving around like this. Now we're gonna add a little bit of, just a little bit, just like a generous pinch of salt. Maybe just like a dash of pepper. Keep moving this around like this. You know, it starts to settle in. You're not gonna burn your garlic. Remember, I'm at 275 degrees, which is like a medium heat. That's what it is. You know, so we'll do it like that. Now, you can see these are cooking down, you know, nice. The mushrooms are starting to soften. Oh yeah, real, hey, listen, they start to release their juices too. So that bacon grease has become tremendously flavorful. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle my fresh thyme leaves in here. If you guys don't have fresh, go ahead and just, I'm gonna say, just go ahead and use, you know, the dry, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Fresh is always better. So you guys can see, look at that right there. Listen, they soft, they releasing their juices in here. Now, we're gonna take our 2 tablespoons, right, of flour, and we're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle this in. And we're gonna cook some of that flour taste out, right? Not some of it, we're gonna cook all of it out. But we just wanna get it in here. I don't like to throw it in there all at one time because you don't want no clump. So, this is where that whisk come in at. And if you guys been following me for a minute, you've seen some of my videos where I make that gravy, and I'll show you guys how to make it. Remember, it's all in your wrist. Gotta keep it moving, right? You can see it right there, look at that. You can see it cook. You just wanna keep it moving. And then look, I got olive oil right here in case you need to add some to it, but because I use thick cut bacon, it rendered a lot of fat, and I say we good. So we're just gonna cook this down just for about 1 minute. Make sure we get rid of that raw flour taste. Now you can start to see, it starts to thicken up, and look at the mushrooms. See how they kind of like clumping together? That's what you wanna see. It's just getting real thick, right? So after about 1 minute, minute and a half, remember we on medium high, excuse me, we on medium heat. Now, we're getting ready to add, look, our chicken stock. So we just add that to it. Remember, I like to introduce everything a little bit at a time. I mean, it's just better that way, you know? So, we got that in there. We're gonna get this to stir up. Now look at that, look at the color. So right now, I know everybody's mouth is watering. I got it, but we not finished yet. What we wanna do is raise the temperature because we wanna bring this up to a boil. So I'm gonna raise it up to a medium high. Now once it becomes smooth, next we're gonna introduce our heavy whipping cream, right? So we're gonna put in a half a cup of that. Now what we're getting ready to do is we're gonna introduce our heavy whipping cream, right? So as we introducing it, you know what I mean? Notice that I'm pouring it in slowly. That's just the key to everything that you're doing. You know what? When you're cooking, just everything, you know, just little by little until you get it all incorporated in. Now as we cook this, I want to taste this before we add our pork chops back in here, right? Because we're going to adjust it. If it needs a little salt or if it needs a little pepper, now's the time to fix that. Look at that. You can see the texture of it. See how it coats the spoon. Nothing really coming off unless I shake it hard. Now, look at this. So the only way I can do it is show it to you like that. You can see the texture and just how thick it is. If you want it to be a little thinner, you can go ahead and add yourself some more. You can add yourself some more, chicken stock or chicken broth, whatever you guys use. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our pork chops right into this gravy. Now we get ready to put our pork chops in, right? So it doesn't make a difference if you put the pork chops and you have some mushrooms underneath it. It's all the same. It still has that gravy underneath it. So once you get them all in there, then you want to put your lid on and then you want to cook it. And we're looking for a temperature of about 150 degrees to 155. USDA says 145 is like, still good, but I like 150, 155. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take this one and we're gonna go ahead and put it, ooh-wee, on this rice. Okay, so as you can see, I put it on a bed of rice, right? So now what you want to do is you just want to get yourself a spoon or whatever, you know what I mean? Just something so you can transfer some of that gravy. What we're gonna do is just top it over the top of that like that. I want you guys to just take a look at this, get some of these mushrooms. Okay, so look, this part right here is like one of my favorite parts because I love to plate, bowl, or whatever we doing. So when you add it on top, that's what it should look like. And I like to put a little bit of extra on there because I like for it to run off onto that rice like what you guys see. Now, when I'm putting the bacon on, you can do it this way, or for those of you guys that want to incorporate it into your gravy, you can do that too and then pour it over the top. But there you go, folks. All right, so you just seen how it is, you know what I mean? Sprinkled it with that bacon, hit it with a little bit of that dry parsley, so I'm gonna go ahead. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what? I done already hit one, you know what I mean? Then ate probably like a quarter of it already. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one right now so you guys can just see. Here it is. I got bacon on top, got a little bit of that rice and gravy and that chop. So let's just go ahead and hit it like this. Oh man. Now, listen, I'm running out of words to describe just how good these recipes that I'm making are, right? Hey, like I said, I'm running out of words. All I can tell you is, listen, you gotta make it, and I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think about this? And hey, we gonna go from there. Now listen, if you're new to my channel, let me just take this time to say, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and tell everybody out there, there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking the mystery out of cooking. And if you've been following me for a minute, you know how I'm finna get out of here, folks. Peace.